Hello, salutations. What it do? It's the Dr. Gamer back at you with another video. And today I just had to talk about this situation with Outriders. It went absolutely insane over the weekend. Hate was directed everywhere. It was trending at one point. A member of the team was literally driven to tears because of all the hatred being thrown at them from fans. It was absolutely nuts. I just had to make a video to talk about it. But before you get into it, make sure you smash that like button. It makes me feel better about myself, and it tells the YouTube algorithm you think my content belongs on this platform. And make sure you subscribe and check that bell icon so you never miss a video. We are on the road to 1,000 subs, trying to hit that by my birthday, May 2nd. So far, you've gone absolutely crazy. We're almost at the time of me recording this video at 600 subs, which is absolutely insane considering I started at 17 subs 2 weeks ago. So keep supporting the channel. I'll keep dropping content and we'll take this to the moon. So without further ado, let's jump right into this video. Now, as soon as I heard about Outriders, I joked that, oh, Square Enix is putting out another looter. What could go wrong? And, to be fair, I was right, but also not completely. We knew immediately, things weren't going to go exactly as planned as soon as when the demo released. It released a free demo a month before the game came out, and I was planning on streaming it the first day it came out on Twitch. And it took me probably about 2 hours to get in to the game because it is, unlike Marvel's Avengers, for example, this is not a single player online optional game. It is online only. You have to be online to play this game. That means if the servers aren't acting properly, then you can't even sign in. You're out of luck. You can't play it at all. So because of the unanticipated demand of this game from this unknown studio, People Can Fly, they weren't ready for the server load, and for several hours, no one could actually play the demo for the most part. But they were communicating the whole time. They were quick to adjust, and soon everyone was restored. Everything was good, and people enjoyed the demo. It was very fun. It got very positive reviews. People loved it. They loved that, unlike Marvel's Avengers, another looter that just going to keep being compared to because they're both published by the same company. They're both looters. They were like, oh, well, this has crossplay. The loot system actually is good and makes sense. Oh, we're so excited. The dev team is communicating and open from the jump. Had a lot of people excited to the point where, against my better judgment, I was like, you know what? I love the game. I'm definitely getting it when it comes out anyway. The dev team has been awesome. They're always posting. They keep putting updates and patches to the game despite the fact that it's just a demo, so if they're showing this much care for the demo, imagine what's going to be like for the full game. So I was like, you know what? I'll go ahead and pre-order it. I'll get the pre-order bonuses, some gear with some really cool perks. More on that in a minute. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. But as we got close to the launch, I was like, okay, well, even though, the demo's been out for several weeks, still running into occasional server errors. Not too much, not too bad, but, it'll be times where I hop on the game, I want to play, I can't get in, so I have to close the app, do it again, and sometimes it'll take me like 2 or 3 tries before the servers let me in. So I'm like, okay, well, if this is a demo, that's a sign of things to come. But I was being optimistic. Okay, I was like, okay, surely by now they know that there's a lot of demand for this game and the servers aren't where they need to be. So either they need to add a single player option so that you don't have to be online, or they got to take steps to up the servers for launch, especially when it was announced that this game would be featured for Xbox Game Pass, which means if you have Game Pass, it's free. So I'm like, wow, okay, well, that's going to be even more players. It's going to be insane. So they definitely got to do something with the servers. So I was like, okay, midnight is when it dropped. They had some early access people. They played it. They were like, oh, this is really fun. It's good. I'm like, okay, let's get excited. So at midnight, the game was preloaded and threw it on stream. And to my surprise, I was able to play 3 hours on stream, no issues. I got in, played. Nothing happened. I enjoyed the game. I was like, okay, well, honestly, part of me admitted that I thought the servers were going to crap the bed at midnight, but it didn't work out. But I was like, but then again, how many people are like me are playing the game at 3 a.m. because they just couldn't wait? So I'm like, okay, well, we'll wait. We'll wait on it. And sure enough, everything went to hell to the point where the devs had to come back to work for Easter weekend because for 3 days and counting, I'm not sure as a recording this how servers are doing for everyone. I just finished playing the game, so the servers were fine for me, but I don't know how it is with the rest of people. But it was bad. It was bad. Like, people were disconnecting in the middle of games. It was such a consistent problem that they put up an announcement as soon as you sign on to the game that they were disabling crossplay between console and PC because of how frequent it disconnected. And people were just losing their mind. And this was on the heels of finding out that the game was a huge success so far. If you look at the Steam charts, the game, when it dropped, the game reached 100,000 concurrents on Steam, which is insane. It even at one point surpassed Borderlands. So it wasn't that no one was trying to play the game. It was everybody was trying to play the game, but the servers couldn't. So it just once again underscored, why have an online only game? Why not make a single player so you don't have these issues where if anything happens to the servers, no one can do anything. So it took days. They were working through it, and it would be crazy. Like, they would post an update on Twitter, say, hey, we think we got it fixed. Check it out now. And then there'd just be an avalanche of comments saying, no, it's not working. It's still not working. Dead game. You start getting that. And people were getting so toxic that a marketing rep from People Can Fly actually came out on Twitter and said that they were in literal tears in their office because of all the hate they've been getting. And they literally have nothing to do with it. They work in marketing. They have nothing to do with the servers. All they're doing is promoting the game. They have nothing to do with it. And they have people who are still spamming their mentions with toxic messages. And I'm like, wow. And fortunately, Outriders community isn't completely toxic like certain other fandoms. So there were a lot of people coming to their defense saying really nice things. We had this popular chef on Twitter offer to send the team food because they were working through the weekend. Of course, they don't actually have an office because of the pandemic, but they appreciated the gesture anyway. So it wasn't all negative, which is great. And despite the early problems, there's still plenty of people that want to play the game. And the devs have been very transparent the whole time. They said they're going to write a whole big report on what went wrong, what steps they took to fix it, and how they can avoid this going into the future. But I mean, it's going to have to be, the solution is obvious, single player, because otherwise the game was awesome. It's incredibly fun. It's not perfect by any means, like the cover system is still complete garbage. The pre-order bonus gives you some really decent gear with really cool perks. Problem with that is you can't actually use the gear until you hit level 10. And by the time you hit level 10, the weapons you get are significantly more powerful than the pre-order weapons. So at that point in the game where you have weapons that you don't necessarily want to keep, like they're blues. So okay, I'm just going to dismantle them for the mods and that I can use for an epic or something. But they're locked. Can't dismantle the weapons. You can't use them for the mods. So they're basically just sitting there in your stash. There's nothing you can do. So I thought that was dumb. But other than that, it's a really good game, interesting story, super fun gameplay. Playing online with people was very fun when you're not disconnecting in the middle of a session. But they don't address the server issues soon. The goodwill is definitely going to start disappearing pretty fast. But they've got a lot of it, but they definitely are on a clock. So they have to make sure that it doesn't go on for too long. I genuinely love the game, as frustrating as it could be sometimes. So I really want these guys to succeed because People Can Fly has been such a great dev studio. They've been open communication. They basically learn from all the things Marvel's Avengers did wrong at launch and improved upon it, which is great, but they still couldn't avoid the the rocky launch. But the game's still popular, people still want to play it. So as long as they get a fix soon, I think this is going to be one of the top games of the year, I think, if they keep going. So here's hoping they get there. But that's all. I just wanted to shed some light on all the content. Hopefully, if the servers are stable for long enough, I'll be able to stream this game again. I want to continue with the story because for now, I've just been basically just farming solo while waiting for this whole thing to play out. But I would definitely want to stream it again for you guys. So look out for that. I'll schedule it once it's ready. Hopefully it all goes well. So with that said, that's going to do it for this video. Once again, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be streaming later today Marvel's Avengers. I'm replaying the campaign, should be really fun. Also, if you're interested in some drip, I've got merch, top link in the description. I've got hoodies, I've got shirts, some really cool designs. I think you'll like it and it helps support the channel. So I'm Sadat the Gamer, signing off.